Okay, so why do you want to go to college?
Um,
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 well,
I want to go to college because I want to go to college because I know that it's the right path for me.
so I can get a degree, obviously, and so I could have a career.
Personally, I want to meet new people and kind of like step out of my comfort zone a bit.
Do something a little bit more. Not saying that you need a degree, but it helps.
College, a gateway to knowledge and for many, a gateway to success. Higher level learning has been around for centuries, seeking to enrich each pupil that wishes to gain from it. For several generations, higher level learning at a college or university has become more prevalent, reaching a status of social norm in the United States. Many colleges and universities now offer degrees that specialize in a myriad of subjects, making it easy for anyone to expound their knowledge on a specific point of interest. There is a catch. Seeking a degree is not cheap, which causes many individuals and families to go under financial stress spanning over several years. Higher level learning did not always cost this much. It used to be more affordable, but has had a dramatic inflation rate. A degree is not always required to be successful, especially in business. Entrepreneurs from various walks of life have started successful businesses with and without college degrees. Selling goods and services has been around before higher education. Although students can now take classes and major in entrepreneurship from institutions, it begs the question, do entrepreneurs need a degree to be successful today?
So since I didn't go to college, I started my first business my sophomore year in high school. So I started DJing high school dances and starting that business while I was in high school. And then when I realized, wow, I can be successful and make a living, this is cool, I just went all in.
To be honest with you, it was just kind of the process and the progression that you did. You know, you went to high school and then you started thinking about college. It was just always a part of the plan. And I'm glad I did because I definitely learned some things that I've carried on later in life.
It's hard for me to tell you not to or to say that it didn't help because I see more benefits from my education and it changed my life. You know, I am a person that says yes to college education.
3 entrepreneurs who own thriving businesses in the city of Dayton, Ohio, share their experiences and outlook on how they got to where they are today. Nick Bowman, co-founder of Warped Wing Brewing Company, Juanita Michelle Darden-Jones, owner of Third Perk Coffee House and Wine Bar, and Andrew White, founder of Indigo Life.
Indigo Life was kind of formed on accident because I had friends who did web design and graphic design and video and all these different worlds. And I'm sending them all this business. And I was like, hey, my buddy needs a graphic design. Hey, my buddy needs this. Hey, and then I'm calling everyone. And I'm like, wait a second. Why don't I just bring everybody together and make this really powerful for them to now have another whole network?
I learned that they were doing coffee and wine in different establishments. And I was like, well, we're not doing that in Dayton. I could be the first. And how cool would that be? So opening with a niche, I thought that was going to really just make an impact.
Identifying that there wasn't a brewery here in 2008 and 2009. And then it kind of morphed from a brew pub concept to what you see today, which is full-scale production. We do all our own packaging, but we also self-distribute.
One of my goals for opening a coffee house was just being unenamored with my doctoral program. Having a belief that I could build a space that would provide more of an education than a university or a college would ever do. College, in my opinion, is bigger than the degree you're seeking. It's about changing your life, changing the way you think, and changing your attitudes about things. So, although as a business owner, could I have done it without college? Absolutely. But college is important. Education is important because it helps us see something bigger than ourselves.
I feel like college can give you crutches, but also I think those crutches can be essential gems in your journey. So I feel like not going to college, I did miss out on some of these gems, but I'm learning those gems years later down the road from other people who did go to college.
What's more important, experiential or classroom learning? Entrepreneurial traits can be taught in the classroom. However, some people are born with the drive to create or start their own business.
When I minored in entrepreneurship, having those local business people come in was a nice change of pace. So those folks would come in and tell us about real life issues, opportunities that they were dealing with. For me, I seemed to pay attention more, listening to those people because they're out there doing it. And I think that's really where I got, the spark to eventually want to do my own business.
I really found that, wow, this is kind of neat. I think I want to share this with other people. And that's when I came home 2 years later from military school and started my first business. At the time, was called Big Boy Entertainment.
Entrepreneurship has been a part of who I am for my whole life. I started selling vegetables out of my parents' garden when I was 9. So there was a senior citizens complex across the street from where we live, like behind this big church. So I would take a wagon and take the vegetables over to the seniors, and I would just sell the vegetables. So I guess I've been in business in some capacity for my whole life.
If you don't know what you want to do, you're not alone. At least 50% of students entering college are undecided about their majors, but those students pay just as much money as any other degree. Are those credits worth paying for if they might not benefit your future career?
There are several concerns that I have to learn or deal with going to college. I would say one of them is cost. College is a lot of money. So just
Vince Lewis is the head of entrepreneurship at the University of Dayton, as well as a successful entrepreneur himself. He joins our discussion to explain the dynamic between young entrepreneurs and their decision whether or not to attend college.
I would probably be most concerned if I was going to have to finance my education through student loans. What I would be looking at is, one, is fit. Is it a school that I'm going to like, and is it something I'm going to really, embrace? But I'd also be looking at, what is that placement rate for whatever I'm majoring in, for the students that graduate? What's the average starting salary? If I have this level of loans, if I'm going to graduate with X number of dollars in loans, how much am I going to need to make to pay for those loans? So those are all things that I would be weighing and I would be thinking about if I was a high school student today.
Although I was totally clean of debt for the most part when I moved back to start this, I've incurred a lot more doing this. But you just got to bootstrap, and you got to be smart, and you got to work together, and eventually, well, I don't know, the debt may never go away. You never know if you're going to buy out investors or, you're going to need to personal guarantee another loan. All that stuff comes into play, but you just try to knock things down one at a time.
A lot of people cannot afford college, so they instead look to make their own way in the world. Will an entrepreneur's money be spent wisely while starting their own business? Money is important, but sometimes skills are even more important to running a successful business.
The primary reason businesses fail is because they just can't find a marketplace. They can't find enough paying customers to make it succeed.
I opened the doors of a boutique. They closed 6 months later. Bad location, not enough capital, no credit to back it up, and no collateral. So I didn't have most of the things that any entrepreneur would need in order to become successful in business from the very beginning.
According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, 50% of all businesses make it to their 5th year. So, what are the main components in the formula for successful startups? The first key quality is motivation. There are many long and sleepless nights that come with starting up. A strong drive is necessary to push through the inevitable hard times. Next is innovation. No new companies will ever succeed without the ability to innovate. Third is sacrifice. The startup must always come first. Last, but certainly not least, is demand. The startup must target a market in which their product is needed or desired. These are just some of the highlights of what separates a failed startup from a successful one.
A lot of it is really about the ability to persevere and stick to a challenge.
Not everybody's going to be guaranteed to be an entrepreneur. It's more than about learning in the classroom. I think for an entrepreneur, it's about learning self-motivation and being able to for lack of a better term, survive on your own or thrive on your own and being able to get through it. It's not easy.
It was a lot of prayers. There was a lot of family and friends involved who were willing to not just donate their time, their resources, holding my hand, believing in what I was doing, being here, cleaning things, and listening to me talk about nothing but third perk and third perk and third perk. And they're like, so it was a combination of so many wonderful things that really brought this together.
You can't do it by yourself to start a business. You have to have the people around you. And that is a key ingredient of anything you do on this planet. Is the community around you is very important. So rather than going and starting a business thinking it's about how much money you have to make your first year, look at it being, how many friends can I make the first year? Because that's who's going to support you.
So you have to be able to communicate with all sorts of people and understand how to manage all sorts of people. So I think, from an entrepreneurship perspective, it really kind of forces you to do that. You get that broad view of a closely held business.
You find yourself being everything for your company. You are the marketer. You are HR. You are payroll. You are customer service. You are the cook. You are the barista. And you are the janitor. You are everything to your company.
There's a lot of skills that, you can't write down on paper. Passion, desire to want to do, to be your own boss, to start your own company.
If you are well off financially but lack a particular skill set, then college might be a good option. If you possess the skills necessary to start a business, there are ways to be successful without a degree. Assess your situation to see if college is something you could stand to benefit from.
To be successful and actually get a nice paying job, you have to do a higher education, and that's what I don't want to struggle when I grow up and stuff. So,
Are the degrees important? It depends on what you're doing, right? If you're in biomedical, we're probably going to want to see some folks with some training in those areas. But it's really all about the person.
And a lot of people who are going into business or going to school to major in business, a lot of times they're geared and trained to go work for someone else. I can't say that my business degree, I have a business degree. I can't say that it prepared me to own a business, but it prepared me to be an employee.
Even though I didn't go to college, I'm able to still work in the film industry because I have the community around me all went through the film college. I have a network. They have the knowledge to help me build this network and support this network. So I do think college is very valuable in a lot of different senses. But if you have an urge and you have something in your stomach that isn't in the college realm, chase it.
When choosing a college, graduation seems light years away. Student debt is a distant problem, and finding a job is still a dream, not a reality. However, the memories will last forever, and the mistakes and triumphs you made throughout your college years will guide every milestone you reach. Although college seems like the norm, it is not for everyone. With the right resources and drive, you can be successful in whatever you put your mind to. The decision to go to college will create outlasting impressions on your whole life, so make sure to weigh your options and prepare. You can create your own path. You don't have to follow one.
I really feel like college is an amazing experience for so many great people, and I'm not against college. It just wasn't for me, and I'm an individual who wants to stand for somebody who may be in that same boat as me, and college doesn't really fit for what they want to be up to.
If you are passionate, if you know at 18 years old what you're passionate about and you think you can go out and get it, then go get it. But if you don't know, then I think college is a great way to go.
Stop where you're at and just be with the environment you're in. Does it resonate with you? Is it meeting the fundamentals and the values and the morals of who you are and what you really want to be up to? Or are you filling a gap, or are you filling a heritage of what you should be doing? Where do you want to be?
My view has always been to never tell someone that something can't be done. Because too many times when I thought for sure something couldn't be accomplished. You know, that somebody came to me with an idea and I thought it was a bad idea, or somebody has a great concept that they want to unleash on the world, and I'm like, yeah, you know, you're crazy, and then they're wildly successful.
People have believed that they can, and that's cool. People believe that it's possible, and people believe that if you work hard to do something, then it can happen.
There were times in this journey at Warped Wing where I was talking to my wife, and I said, hey, I'm just gonna walk away. And to think about that, if I would have walked away and missed this fantastic opportunity, I probably never would have forgiven myself. So I like to preach that because I've lived through it, and gladly I stuck with it, and to see this thing come to fruition. So I think, you know, you got to stick it out, and it's not for everyone.
Because you can give up really easily. But if you have the community here that believes in you and is holding you accountable, they're not going to let you stop. So the only person stopping you from getting to where you want is you.